Hi friends, welcome to the lunar eclipse full moon video in Libra. We'll be talking about that today. A couple stories because I am coming out of a 5-day music festival in my beautiful hometown of Boise, Idaho called Tree Fort. And so I'll be talking a little bit about music and the moon, of course, mindset and the magi, because those are the 4 pillars of Let Love Rise. Once again, my name is Andrea Blythe. I am so glad you're here. So let's start. Can you hear those seagulls? There's so many seagulls right now, which is my spirit bird. So I just love it. But let's start with music real quickly. I am curious to know, what is your go-to pull me out of a funk song? What is the song like if you recognize you're in just kind of a dark place, you're maybe lethargic, you're maybe going through some stuff and you're like, enough is enough? Because there is time to feel, and we'll be talking about that for sure, especially during eclipse season. But if you're like, okay, I'm done with this, I want to pull myself out of it, what is a go-to pull out of it, good vibe, happy song for you? I always love the music of Michael Franti. And today, though, I want to give a shout out to the National Parks Band. The National Parks is kind of a newer band, but they just played here at our festival in Boise. Those birds are so loud. And they rocked the house. They raised the vibe in such a beautiful way, and that's what I love about music. I love how music allows us to get into our bodies and feel the things that we're feeling. So, at a music festival, you're there for the community and the power of the music and the vibe. And it was just lovely to be in the presence of these really young performers who just know how to have a good time and help the crowd have a good time, get everybody singing. And my goodness, it's been in this park underneath the beautiful moon. So we've been watching the moon wax on for the last couple of days. And today is the closing day. It's day 5. I'm still alive and upright. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm heading back tonight, where in the middle of the night tonight, we will have our lunar eclipse. So a lunar eclipse happens every time the moon is full. And what's really cool about the lunar eclipse, this lunar eclipse, is if you were to get a snapshot of the universe right now, very similar to, for those of you who have had your astrological birth charts read, you kind of have an idea. There's like a circle, a wheel, it's divided into 12 houses, and the planets, and then around it are the signs of the zodiac. So I've been talking about Libra. Libra is the scales. It's all about relationships, our committed partnerships with our significant others, our spouses, our children, our co-workers, our anybody who we're in relationship with, our parents. Shows up differently for everybody. So there's the wheels of the zodiac and then these 12 houses. But right now, what's cool is if you take that snapshot of the sky, the moon is alone in the sign of Libra. And it's called a bucket chart right now because it's just the moon on that side of the chart. Every other planet is in the sign of Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, plus Pluto in Aquarius, but all of those are connected. So it goes Aquarius and after Aquarius, and that's where Pluto's going to hang out for the next 20 years. So let's get used to that. Okay, so Pluto's in Aquarius, but then in Pisces is the sign that comes after Aquarius. We have planets stacked there. And then in Aries is where the sun is. And that's where the solar eclipse is going to take place 2 weeks after this lunar eclipse. So Aries is really lit up right now. Chiron, the wounded healer, I've been talking a lot about Chiron, is there in Aries. And then there's quite a few significant planets, Jupiter and Uranus, specifically in the sign of Taurus, kind of working with our finances and how we, our values and whatnot. So this particular time of year right now, when we are in an eclipse season, we are facing kind of a shakeup in our lives. It is a real time of awakening, a time of letting go. Every full moon is a chance to let go, to look at where you've been for perhaps the last 2 weeks. Maybe you want to go back 6 months. and look at the season where you've been to know where you're going. And then that moon, as it starts to wane away, as it gets smaller, it's like, what do you want it to take away with it? What do you want to remove and let go of? So every full moon offers that. But when we have a full moon lunar eclipse, it is like a full moon on steroids. So if you are a sun, moon, or rising Libra, you're probably going to feel these energies louder. I'm going to say it once again. These seagulls are so loud. I really hope that it's not disturbing the quality of the video. Anyhow, I digress. This is who I am. It's like, what is that? Oh, I love it. So a lunar eclipse is a time for us to be really aware and intentional about our relationships. Friendships are also a part of our relationship, and being aware of what is no longer serving us at this point in time. Sometimes relationships just leave. People leave. They can leave the planet Earth. I know there have been quite a few people who have had to say goodbye to loved ones in the last year, the last couple of weeks. But they can also just, leave our life. And sometimes, as hard as that is to say goodbye to a relationship, it's making space for something new, something more aligned, something even better. So keep that in mind as we're in this portal, which really, I think it began with the new moon on March 10th, kind of opened the doorway to these new energies that are transformational. They're changing, they're shaking things up, because we need that. Our souls are here not to be stagnant and safe, but to grow and to evolve and to learn. And one of the best ways we learn is in relationship with other people. So on the other side of Libra, the Libra axis is Aries. So the sign of Aries, it's a fire sign, and Aries is all about the sense of self. It's typically the first house of the zodiac. It starts the new zodiac year. So that was the second energy. So we had the new moon, and then we had the equinox last week, which started the new 365, what am I trying to say? The new zodiac year, which always begins in Aries and ends in Pisces. So this new beginning energy, but sometimes before something can grow, it needs to leave. Just like if you're a gardener, if you have something, I have these grapevines in my backyard. And I'm always amazed because I'll trim them back. Actually, let's be real. My mom does this. She loves my grapevine. She comes over and she trims them back where it looks like, how's anything going to grow from that? And then within just a couple of months, they start budding and then producing this fruit. And it's amazing, the cycle. So learning from nature, we need to prune back. We need to release and let go of things that are no longer in our highest value. And sometimes you hear that and you're like, okay, that's great, but what does that even mean? How do I know if something's good for me or not? The answer is your body. Listening to your body. The moon rules over our bodies as well. It is the closest planet is the closest luminary in the sky to us, and it controls our tides. And our bodies are made up of mostly water, so it also in that way controls the emotional feel. So there's an invitation at this lunar eclipse. It's called a penumbral lunar eclipse. So you're actually going to be able to see in certain parts of the world a shadow of the earth on the moon. Shadow of the earth on the moon. So when you see a penumbral lunar eclipse like that, it is really questioning like where you are and asking you to feel deeply into your shadow self. I mean, look at these dark clouds. Like, where does that live inside of you? Where's the darkness inside of you that sometimes you might just be like, I'd rather not look at that. I'm cool, not today. Eclipses might be like, yeah, but today, we're going to look at this today. We're going to unearth this. We're going to feel through it. So going back to music, what I love about music so much is the way that it connects us all as humans. There's music every continent, every civilization, just played differently and interpreted differently. However, when you hear, like, one of the things about national parks that I love so much is when you hear the drumming, the two women, they do this drum off that is just so powerful, and it hits for me right here in my heart space. It reminds me of what the Native Americans say is our first instrument is our inner drum. It's our heartbeat. So this chance at eclipse season to look at our inner landscape, to look at our heartbeat, to look at the stuff that we don't want to look at and bring it forth into the light as a way to grow and evolve and move forward. So the short way is like, how do I know if something isn't serving me anymore? How does it feel in your body? When you're with somebody and you finish your time with them, how do you feel? When you're in the moment and you're in the presence of somebody, how does it feel? And I'm talking mostly about relationships, because once again, that's what Libra is all about. Libra is our relationship with others. Aries is our relationship with ourselves. We love ourselves. We put on our oxygen mask first, and then we go out and we live life in community, and we live life through others. And others are a reflection all the time of how we're doing, how we're showing up. So that's the other thing that you might want to be able to pay attention to during this eclipse season is, what is it about other people that maybe irritates you, makes you be like, ugh, and then, like, just take a moment and ask and reflect. Is that something that you do that you don't maybe want to admit that you do, or you don't like that you do it, but you do it? And the invitation is, when you know better, you do better. What are you going to do about it? How do you want to show up differently in your relationships? What are the changes that you can make? There's a difference. There's A and there's Z, right? Like, where Z is like where we want to be. It's like, so many people think, well, when I just get to Z, I'm going to be happy. That's not how it works, though. There's so many steps along the way before you get to Z. Because if we just transported, I mean, I remember during the darkest days that I went through back in 2021, just kept saying, I just want a fast forward button. I just want the fast forward button. I just want to be through this. I want that fast forward button. And of course, it doesn't work for that. It doesn't work like that. We don't have a fast forward button to propel us forward in life like that. And it's a good thing, because along the way, that's where we learn and we grow. And also, that is where we find our sense of self and our sense of joy in the journey. It's not the destination, my friends. The destination, once you arrive at that destination, there's going to be a new destination and a new one. So truly, life is all about experiencing the joy in this beautiful creation and our opportunity to live it out. So going back to the moon and this lunar eclipse, as it reflects a light back on you, if you know the area of your chart, the house that it is speaking into, that'll give you an idea of where the relationship energy is being focused right now. But when we're aware, when we know better, we do better. So when we're aware of our shadow selves, like that shadow of the earth that we're going to see potentially on the moon during this eclipse, when we're aware of our shadow self and how we show up first for ourselves and then in relationship with others, we just have to ask ourselves with so much love and grace too. Please, people, let's not be hard on ourselves. Life can give us enough challenges. We don't need to be our own worst enemy. So just acknowledging it, recognizing it, blessing it, thanking it, letting it go, and then On April 8th, we're going to have the closing of this particular eclipse, the Libra-Aries eclipse, for this cycle. And then it'll finish out next September. So it started back in October of last year, October 2023. Then we've got this Aries Libra, and then we'll finish it out again in the fall. And that's a little chapter that is being told in your life. So just look back, reflect back to October of 2023, project forward. Where would you like to be? How would you like to show up differently for yourself and for others in October? April 8th is this solar eclipse, and the solar eclipse is happening in conjunction with an outer planet called Chiron. Minor planet, dwarf planet, Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. So for all of us, we are healing something right now. And so just have the courage to enter into the dark places, excavate it out, let the light reveal, let the moon take away what's, all the darkness, and let the light fill you back up. This April 8th eclipse is going to be incredibly powerful, especially if you are between the ages of 49 to 51, because we are also experiencing our once in a lifetime Chiron return, and this solar eclipse is happening on the Chiron point at 18 degrees of Aries. So embrace it, my friends. Embrace it. When we have a heads up, I think we do a little bit better. So that's really what this is all about. It's just a little heads up. This is what's coming. Eyes wide open. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself first, then love others, just like the oxygen mask in the airplane. And I am gonna love myself by getting myself down to one of my favorite places to be in the world, which is a music festival, and go close Treefort out with the rest of this beautiful city of Boise. I hope that you got a little nugget of something that you can take with you from this little bit of storytelling about music and the moon. And I do want to finish with a magi, because I found out today that I have a very dear friend who is potentially just became a new mother, or will be within the next couple of hours. She is in labor, and today is the Queen of Clubs Day. So the Queen of Clubs is the highest feminine energy around our mindset. It is mastery of our mind. And when I say feminine energy, I don't mean just for women. Men have feminine energy, women have feminine energy. We all have Mars and Venus mixed in with us. I didn't even go anywhere to talk about all the rest of the planets that are interacting. You can check out Chani or Molly McCord, or, I love the Pele report if you really want an astrological report, because there's so much else happening. But it is a Queen of Clubs Day this March 24th. March 25th is going to be a Jack of Clubs Day, which is the very creative energy. So be aware of what you're saying to yourself, how you're speaking to yourself, and how you express yourself creatively right now on this day of these eclipses. These are the energies of the magi. And if you are looking for a community of people that you want to move through life with and really embrace some of the things that I've been talking about, the moon, music, mindset, and the magi, I invite you to join me for the Spirit of the Phoenix. In the month of April, I'll be hosting it live in person in my home. And in the month of May, we'll be doing a virtual rendition of Spirit of the Phoenix 4-week mindset program. So all the information can be found on letloverise.com. I hope you'll check it out. And I hope that you just have a beautiful eclipse season. Embrace it. Yeah, and fear exists within all of us. Courage is how we are going to let that fear know that you are in charge, not the wounded 7-year-old inside of you. So let's embrace this with authentic courage and joy for the journey. Let's see where it goes. Don't forget, let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite go-to Raise the Vibe song? Would love to hear it. Thank you so much for listening. As always, like and subscribe and share and do all those beautiful things that help me get my message out. The light in me. honors the light in you. Namaste.